So, Halloween has finally arrived, huh? What's going on, guys? I'm Alejandro Mendoza, and before we get into today's topic, not even gonna say anything else. Just before we get into today's topic, I quickly want to say that this video is not. I repeat, this is not meant to be hating on the whole TK and Kari pairing. It's not meant to come off as me saying, oh, the ship of TK and Kari sucks, or that it's never going to happen, because that's not what I mean in the slightest. I understand why people support TK and Kari getting together, and, basically why they're shipped together so much. And, the obvious reason for why people ship them being together, at least the main reason that I see, is because, you look at the relationship between the two of them, and you see that they get along really well, they care for one another, and, they're best friends. So you don't really have to look too deep to see why people want them to be together. Now, this is just a summarized version, of why people ship the two being together, because I'm sure that if a fan of this pairing were to be asked to describe why they want TK and Kari to be together, they could probably write a whole essay on it. But, the gist of it is the main reason that people want them together is because of their relationship. And while I personally never really saw them as a couple, personally, I always saw them as having more of a brother and sister type relationship. I do get why people want them to be together, and I think that there's a strong possibility that the writers, whether it be because they themselves want the two to get together, or because they see the amount of support that the couple gets, and ultimately they decide to do it based on that. Although that option of just based on the support around it is really just based on how much Toei and the writers really pay attention to the fan base, which, for all we know, they could really care less about our opinions, but which is a sad thought. But, regardless, I do think there's a strong possibility that the writers will, have the two get together. However, this video is not about whether or not TK and Kari will get together, or about their relationship, which maybe I'll cover in another video. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, it's not about their relationship or if they will get together, but as the title suggests, this video is going to be me critiquing the major reasons that are used to say that TK and Kari are destined to be together. And if you are watching this video and you are a TK and Kari, shipper, then all I ask is that you listen to what I have to say, because obviously, we're all going to have different opinions on this. Some people will love this subject, other people will dislike it, and some people won't even care about it. But all I ask is that you listen to what I have to say. You obviously don't have to agree with me. All I ask is that you listen to my full perspective on it, and afterwards, just post your thoughts down in the comments, whether or not you agree or disagree with me. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you can tell where I'm going to go with this video, but some of you might be wondering, well, if this video is going to be critiquing the major reasons that I used to say that TK and Kari are destined to be together, then wouldn't their relationship be one of those reasons? And while, yes, the relationship of TK and Kari, I feel, is something that is a major reason for why people ship the two getting together, it's not really something that is used to say, oh, TK and Kari are destined to be together because of that. And it's really something that is just a part of the characters. It's obvious the way TK and Kari act toward each other and how much they care for one another. That's it's their friendship, and as their individuals, we interpret their relationship in our own in different ways. But yeah, I really quickly want to say all that because I just want to make it clear that I really quickly want to say all that because I want to make it clear that this video is not, once again, it is not meant to hate on the TK and Kari pairing. It is ultimately just meant to critique certain aspects of it. And the aspects I'm critiquing are, of course, like I said before, the major reasons that I used to say that TK and Kari are destined to be together. And this, like I said, doesn't include the relationship for the reasons I stated earlier. Also, this introduction is going to be a bit long. And the reason for that is because with this subject in particular, I feel there is a lot that I'll have to address before we actually get into the topic itself. But also, if I repeat myself throughout the video and the introduction, then I'm sorry for that. But there are certain things that I feel I will need to emphasize so that you guys can all see where I'm coming from perspective wise. And the next thing I want to address is basically the whole O2 epilogue situation, which obviously does have something to do with this topic, considering, it's the epilogue. It's what happens to everyone in the future. Because, like I said, it's supposed to be what happens in the future. And, with the release of Digimon Adventure Tri, this has sparked a lot of debate on whether or not the epilogue is canon. On one side, you have people saying, yes, it's canon, and Tri is supposed to lead up to the epilogue. And on the other side, you have, no, the epilogue isn't canon anymore, and the writers are going to change it. So here's my perspective on the topic. And I personally think that the 02 epilogue could be susceptible to change. Like, if the writers really wanted to, they could obviously change the epilogue. But I don't think that they would drastically change how it ends. Like, I don't think they're going to, completely throw out the epilogue for a new ending, or that they're going to kill off main characters from Digimon Adventure and Digimon Adventure 02. Because I know that right now, some of the fan base thinks that the O2 cast are dead, while other parts of the fan base think they aren't. And for me, I highly doubt that the O2 cast are dead, considering that while the epilogue itself could possibly be changed, since it takes place 25 years after the final battle with Malamayotismon, the rest of O2 is still canon to the story. Like, you don't have to look out to outside sources to know that O2 itself, minus the epilogue, is canon to the story. I mean, you have TK and Kari having defreeze, the fact that all the destined recognize Ken and Imperial Dramon, and that when TK and Kari were out looking for Ken, they mentioned if any of the others had responded. Hint, hint. The others that they're referring to are Davis and the rest of the O2 gang. So, in that regard, I don't think the writers would do anything drastic. Right now all we know is that the O2 cast were most likely defeated by Alphamon, and that's pretty much it. And if the writers did decide to kill them off and completely change what happened to the epilogue, I'd be really surprised. But other than drastic changes like that, I could certainly see the writers possibly changing smaller things. Like, obviously, what jobs the Digidestined end up with and who they end up with. But yeah, that's my O2 cents on the topic. One more thing. I just really quickly want to say this before we get into the critique. And it's that the reason that I decided to do the Halloween special on this topic in particular is, first off, because this topic is something that would be terrifying to make a video on, considering that obviously a lot of the fandom, not all of the fandom, but a lot of the fandom are probably, supporters of TK and Kari, getting together. And I'm obviously going to be critiquing it. And, throughout the time between me announcing that I was going to do this Halloween special, and now that I'm actually doing it, one of the questions that plagued my mind the most was just, how can I do this without stepping on anyone's toes? So, all I can say is that, once again, this video is not meant to hate on the TK and Kari pairing. And if you feel that I was hating on them, then I'm sorry. The video is not meant to come off that way. But it is what it is. And hopefully, I do this video well. Hopefully I do this video well enough so that I may not have to, change my identity to escape shippers who got angry with this video. Hopefully I don't have to just completely change my identity just to escape angry shippers. And, the second reason why I chose this topic in particular is because, Digimon Adventure Tri is supposed to be ending soon, since obviously Symbiosis just recently came out, and it's the 5th movie in the Digimon Adventure Tri series, which we were told is going to be 6 movies. So unless they plan on extending Digimon Adventure Tri or making a sequel to it, maybe Digimon Adventure Tri 02, then the next movie is going to be the last one, meaning that the next movie will be the series finale that wraps everything up. And while it would be awesome if they decided to do, if they either decide to, continue with another movie series or just make a sequel anime, the writers, and Toei haven't really said anything on if they plan to make a sequel to Tri or are planning on extending it. So for now, the most likely thing that is going to happen is that the next Tri movie will be the last. So, also, when it comes to anime, not just Digimon, but anime in general, the ending of a series and what happens in the ending can obviously cause people to either be outraged or love the ending, or maybe even a mixture of both. And one of the things in an ending that can make some fans hate or love an ending is shipping. Obviously, who the main characters end up with. Although, not everyone who watches the series cares about shipping. There are obviously people who couldn't care less about it. But regardless, shipping is something that usually has a big place in any anime community. And as for me, when it comes to shipping, I mean, I wouldn't really call myself a shipper. I mean, granted, I would say that I have preferences to who I'd like to see who I'd like to see get together. Like, there are pairings that I would like to see happen more than others. But regardless, like, whether or not the characters I would want to get together actually get together or not, it's not gonna make me stop watching the show or hate the show because of it. But of course, that's just me, and some fans do take who gets together at the end of the series very seriously. Like, I remember when Naruto and Bleach ended, and there was just like this crazy backlash from fans. Like, you had fans destroying their volumes of manga, destroying their DVD sets of the anime, and all this crazy stuff. But I remember that specifically with Naruto, I'm not really too sure if something similar happened with Bleach, but specifically with Naruto, some fans tried to get Naruto banned from the United States because Naruto and Sakura didn't get together at the end. And I also think that they even tried to get the author of Naruto to make a different ending where Naruto and Sakura ended up together. And that was just crazy because when I heard about that happening, I was just thinking to myself that these are two fictional characters, and people wanted to ban Naruto just because they didn't end up together. And that really itself describes the second reason as to why I'm making this video, because I don't want that to happen with Digimon. Like, okay, let's just say, hypothetically, that TK and Kari don't end up together and they end up marrying other people, and, that's that. Some fans would obviously be upset at this, and that's fine to a certain extent, but I wouldn't want it to get to a point where fans would try to ban the series or do something drastic like that. I mean, if TK and Kari don't end up together, something like that might still happen, regardless of this video, but I hope that this video might deter people from doing something drastic if they don't end up together. But, yeah. I really quickly want to say that, although this intro has gone on way longer than I thought it would. I'm so sorry about this, but regardless, like, I really thought that all those things that I said in the intro, I felt that I had to say, and that they needed to be said. But, yeah, now that I've said all of that, let's get into me critiquing the major reasons that I used to say that TK and Kari are destined to be together. So, during this critique, there are 3 major reasons that I'll be talking about, and the reason that I have picked these 3 in particular is because these reasons are used so much within the community that basically, like, even if you're not a shipper and you're just like a fan of Digimon, you probably know what these 3 reasons will be. Heck, I remember when I was younger and had just gotten into Digimon that one day I was just browsing for YouTube looking for Digimon videos to watch, and I came across a video that was just about showing all the evidence for TK and Kari getting together at the end of O2. It was obviously trying to provide proof that the two of them got together. And I went back and I found the video, and that video has over 100,000 views. And in it also talks about the reasons I'm going to be discussing in this video. So it actually helped me when it came to preparing for this video. And if you want to watch that video, which I'm betting a lot of you probably already have, but regardless, if you want to watch it, all you have to do is search Digimon TK and Kari, and it's like one of the first videos to pop up. But let's move on from that and begin the critiquing of these 3 major reasons. So, the first major reason that I'll be critiquing is the O2 finale poster. Now, obviously, when Digimon Adventure 02 was about to end, there was a poster release that promoted the finale. And in the poster, you see TK and Kari holding hands. So because of that, obviously a lot of fans and you could infer that, TK and Kari are going to get together. But the problem with that is that the poster is then immediately contradicted by the ending of O2, where TK and Kari aren't together. However, despite the fact that in the ending, they don't end up together, some of the fandom, I guess, kind of refused to accept that, and from that, and like the other things as well, like, it's probably not just that, but other things as well, it led to the development of, fan ideas that would have allowed TK and Kari to get together at the end, or at the very least infer that they got together at the end of O2. And the first and biggest reason I think that I have seen that tries to, defend, that TK and Kari got together is people stating that the ending was changed and that in the Japanese ending, TK and Kari get together. And to that I say, have you watched the Japanese ending? Because I have, and if you yourself have seen the Japanese ending, then you would know that it's no different than the ending in English, the ending in Spanish, the ending in German, whatever language you have seen. The ending is the same for all of them. And like, you know, if you haven't seen the O2 ending in Japanese and you don't believe me, then, you know, go watch it for yourself. And the only way you'll find a version of like the epilogue where like TK and Kari get together is one, through fan fiction or like a fan made video of them getting together, or if the writers of Try do decide to change the epilogue and have them get together at the end of Try, which again I could see happening, but right now we're not talking about if they will get together, and this is about the original O2 epilogue, not any possible new version of it. So yeah, there's no alternate version of the original epilogue where TK and Kari get together. And oh yeah, a fan also came up like with this idea where it's basically that like TK and Kari did get together, but it's just like that they went to like the reunion of everybody at different times, like that Kari went with Ty or something, and like TK just like arrived later because he was working on his book. And there's just like so many problems with that idea because like, okay, the first and biggest problem with this idea is due to the fact that with the epilogue, it directly told us who out of the Digidestined got together, and it did not do that at all for TK and Kari. I mean, you have Ken and Yoli, who TK directly stated got married and had 3 kids. And then there's Matt and Sora, who during the epilogue, even though TK never stated they got married, we have this scene where after Matt tells his kid not to cry, Sora's daughter, you know, she says, "Leave it to me," and Biyomon says, "What a dependable big sister." So because of that, we know Matt and Sora got together. But with TK and Kari, there is literally nothing that states or even implies that the two got married. Like, TK doesn't say anything about Kari besides the fact that she's a teacher now, and they aren't even standing next to each other like Matt and Sora and Ken and Yoli were. So, like, you know, to maybe at least imply they got together. So, like, you know, there is quite literally nothing in the epilogue that implies TK and Kari got married. And if they had gotten together, the writers would have at least had stated it, or at least put it in a line of dialogue or something along those lines to at the very least have implied that the two got together, like they do, just like they did with all the other canon couples. Also, there is one more thing that I know that's likely to be brought up with this, and that's likely to be brought up about the poster, and that's the fact that in the poster you have Matt with his arm around Sora's waist, and you have Ken and Yoli with their arms locked with one another. So if they ended up together, and the poster shows us, like, you know, these romantic gestures they're having with one another in the poster, then shouldn't TK and Kari have also gotten together? And the answer to that is no. Because if the fact that TK and Kari don't end up together during the epilogue isn't a big enough contradiction to what is shown in the poster, and the fact that there's literally nothing in the epilogue to imply they got married, you have to remember that this is just a poster. This ultimately was just a poster to promote. I repeat, it was ultimately just a poster to promote the finale of O2. Nothing more, nothing less. And also, if we are to use posters to try and say that a ship or something else happened and is canon to a story, then let's take a look at this poster, which took me forever to find, and this isn't even the full poster, which I apologize for. But this is the most of the poster I could find, and if any of you know where I could find an image of the full poster, that would be great. But anyway, in this poster, we see Davis with his arm around Kari, and Kari is smiling up at him while TK is behind them. So I mean, that must mean that Davis and Kari got together, right? I mean, he has his arm around her and she's smiling at him, so they must have gotten together, right? And a lot of you would probably say no, that doesn't mean they got together, because it's ultimately just a poster meant to promote the series, just like the O2 finale poster was. So, all in all, that's everything I had to say about the O2 finale poster. And if you guys agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments, and just post down why you agree or disagree with me. But yeah, so with that reason being done, let's get into the next 2 reasons. So, for the next 2 reasons, I'm going to be talking about, sorry about that, something just kind of got stuck in my throat there for a second. So, for the next 2 reasons, I'm going to be talking about the next 2 reasons together, because these next 2 reasons are just so similar, and they're used so much to say that TK and Kari are destined to be together. And those 2 reasons are the Crests of Light and Hope, and the fact that TK and Kari both have Angel Digimon. Now, I'm betting a lot of you, if not all of you, saw these coming, But let's get into these two reasons, because I think if you were to pick out of all the reasons that I used to say that TK and Kari are meant to be together or are destined to be together, these two would be at the top. And just like with the O2 finale poster, I'm going to go over my faults with these reasons. Now, with these two reasons, they have the same basic premise in how and why they used to say that TK and Kari are destined to be together. It's just basically they both have Angel Digimon, so that means they'll get together. And the crests of Light and Hope are really similar, and it's kind of poetic to say that Light and Hope will get together, along with what Azulongmon said, leads to these two reasons being used a lot. However, when I see these two reasons being used, I just think, how do these two things that have nothing to do with the relationship between TK and Kari mean that they'll get together? I mean, okay, let's look at the whole both TK and Kari have Angel Digimon thing, because it's basically just they both have Angel Digimon, and in their armor forms they have an attack together, and that's it. So by this, it's basically that, if a partner, if a Digidestined's Digimon is a certain type, and there's another Digidestined who has a partner Digimon of the same type as well, then that means they're meant to be together then, right? So then, going by that must mean that Sora and Yoli are perfect for each other, because they both have bird-type Digimon. Oh, and what about Ken and Izzy? They must be destined for each other, since both of them have insect-type Digimon, right? Heck, let's go even further and take a look at Digimon Tamers, where Henry and his little sister Susie have Terriermon and Lopmon, who are basically twin Digimon, so then that must mean that Henry and Susie are... Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. I was just talking about Henry and Susie and their partner Digimon. Then there was this weird noise. I don't know what that was about, but moving on from that, we also have the whole thing that in their armor forms they share an attack. Just like the fact that because they have similar Digimon doesn't mean that they'll get together. Doesn't mean that they will get together. Because it has nothing to do with TK and Kari's relationship. The same goes for them sharing an attack. It has nothing to do with their relationship. And also, in the Digimon Tamers movie, not Runaway Locomon, the other Tamers movie, Takato, Rika, and Henry, all the Digimon, share an attack. So, does that mean that all three of them get together? But anyway, I think I got my point across. And, basically it's just that because just because two people have Digimon that can digivolve into the same kind of Digimon, or that they're of the same type, or that your Digimon share an attack, that doesn't mean that they're destined for each other. Case in point, literally all these people I've been mentioning, like Yoli and Sora and Ken and Izzy. If I were to try and say that Ken and Izzy are going to get together because they have the same kind of Digimon, or that Sora and Yoli were going to get together for the same reason, a lot of you would say that's dumb to think that, because these couples wouldn't happen due to that reason, because ultimately the fact that they have similar kinds of Digimon doesn't mean that they are meant to be together, as those are just what kind of Digimon they have, which, it has nothing to do with their relationship to another person. And the same goes for TK and Kari. Also, saying that TK and Kari will get together because they both have Angel Digimon is like saying that two people are meant for one another if they like or have the same kind of dog, music, or any other arbitrary reason. Because literally, just replace Gatomon and Patamon with a dog. Just replace them with German Shepherds, and it'd basically be oh, they both have German Shepherds. They must be meant for one another, Okay, so now that I have finished critiquing the whole, both TK and Kari have an Angel Digimon thing, let's get into their crests. Alright, so with the crests, the whole reason that it is used so much when it comes to this relationship is mainly due to, although it may have still been used before this point in the story, but regardless, it is mainly due to what Azulongmon said during episode 37, where he's basically explaining everything, and what basically happens is Azulongmon is describing the crests, and he says that Light and Hope are different from the rest. So naturally, some of the community took that to mean that TK and Kari are meant for one another, and I even think in that evidence video I mentioned, it says that Azulongmon said that the Crests of Light and Hope were compatible with one another. Only there is one slight problem with that. Like, it's totally not a big deal, but it's just the fact that Azulongmon, he never states that the Crests of Light and Hope are compatible. All he says is that they are different. And when he's describing, like, how they're different from the other Crests, basically what he says is that the other Crests, like Courage, are powers within the Digidestined's hearts. But the Crest of Light actually gives life to the world, and the Crest of Hope means that you don't lose the light within yourself. However, that is all that Azulongmon says about them, and at no point does he say that they are compatible. And again, if you don't believe me, go watch the episode yourself. And also, if you want to say that because the Crest of Light and Hope are similar, that means that TK and Kari are destined for each other, there are other Crests that have plenty of similarities to Light. For starters, if you guys have only watched the English dub of Digimon, then you'll know that Mimi has the Crest of Sincerity and Joe has the Crest of Reliability. However, in the Japanese version, Mimi actually has the Crest of Purity, and Joe has the Crest of Faithfulness or Honesty. I'm not sure which translation is correct, but Joe isn't the one we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on Mimi and her Crest of Purity, because don't Purity and Light go together? I mean, a pure light, a light that purifies the darkness. Don't these two crests sound like they go so well together? And there's also one more crest that I'm going to bring up. And while we only see it like a few times, it is still there in the form of a Digi-Egg. And that Digi-Egg is the Digi-Egg of Miracles, and Davis is the one who wields it. And just like with Mimi's crest, don't Miracles and Light go together? A miraculous light, a miracle will save light from the darkness. I mean, Miracles sounds like it would go so well with Light as well. So, I mean, out of all of these, which one goes the best with Light? And what to that I say is that why don't they just all get together? Yeah, let's just have Mimi, TK, Kari, and Davis all get together and have a full... Okay, sorry about that again, guys. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I was just talking about Mimi, TK, Kari, and Davis and their crests when there was just this sudden weird noise again. But just like with the Digimon reason, I think I got my point across. And that point just like with the Digimon is obviously that just because they have similar crests, that doesn't mean that they are destined for each other, as that has no bearing on the relationship between TK and Kari. And yeah, ultimately, that's the last reason I'm going to critique. So this is going to be the end of the video. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, maybe leave a like. And if you're enjoying the content I'm producing, maybe consider subscribing. And if you are already subscribed, then thank you. You guys are awesome. And even if you're not subscribed, just thank you for watching. You guys are amazing. And with this video in particular, just post your thoughts in the comments down below. Just tell me, honestly, do you agree or disagree with me on this? Do you think that I was because this video isn't meant to come off as hate or anything to the TK and Kari coupling. It's not meant for any of that. So just tell me, do you guys agree or disagree with the reasons I said in here? And just give me your overall thoughts. Yeah. Once again, thank you all for watching. I am Alejandro Mendoza, and I will see you later. Bye. Oh, and also, I do hope that no shippers are really get angry with me. So, because I want to keep my name. Please don't get too angry with me. Okay, bye.